So, hey, Gregory, welcome to this interview. And basically, what this is all about is to ask you your experience now that you've gone through the training because we did the podcast episode a month ago and you've completed it a few days ago. And I want everyone to experience what you've experienced. So, I want you to share with them your 100% authentic opinion. I haven't written down any questions. I haven't told you what I would ask you. I'm just going to let you loose, talk about what you want to talk about so people can come into this with, I don't want to oversell them some expectation and then when they come in they're getting something completely different. I want them to know exactly what happened with you, how everything worked, and do we have any measurable results? Do we have something to show them?
I think that's a very good way of asking the question, and the fact that you haven't seated me is you're going to get my authentic answer for sure. Matter of fact, I was talking to some gentlemen this morning about this process, literally a couple of hours ago, and I described it to them as it was a freeing experience. I'm in my business coaching, and the reason why I went through this process with you is I'm all about freedom in the business and freedom in activities and freedom of time, money, and purpose. And that's what I help small business owners get. Well, I needed the same freedom in being able to do live videos and be able to express my opinions and thoughts and knowledge to others without getting hung up into a box, if you will, of thought and fear and misunderstanding of how to do live video. Mm-hmm. So last year, I experienced live video trying to do some ads for my business. And then I experienced live video trying to do some Facebook Lives a couple of months ago. And I didn't like the experience. Matter of fact, I did a few Facebook Lives and I quit because I didn't have the understanding of what to do to break the ice, if you will, when I was doing a live video. And I would get caught up in my thoughts and my words, and it was almost like shut down. But that's the best way I can describe it, is I would just shut down. So
were too much to handle.
Yeah, very much. The emotions were hard to handle. And then the thoughts in my own brain were confusing me because I was thinking about what I was doing instead of just doing it. And so while you're thinking about it, you have some awkward pauses, or you hurry up and try to finish. A lot of things like that were unnatural, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so, I've always been a good speaker, but speaking into this camera lens was, it was daunting for me. And so, Ian, I appreciate it because what you've done through the process you've put together was you tackled some systemic things inside my mind, inside my psyche, that had to be done before you could actually give me the tricks of the trade, if you will. So, a lot of people have given me the tricks of the trade and they never worked, because it wasn't getting to the underlying root cause, which was the psyche, or my emotions, my mental block. Mm-hmm. So now that those are addressed, it's actually helped me in other areas of my life too, because you realize what it means to tackle some of those things. And when you tackle something like doing a live video, it opens other pathways for you. So now I'm not at all hesitant to drop into a video on something. So I appreciate it very much.
The first thing I wanna respond to there was that I did tell you at the beginning that even though I tell people that I train them to become comfortable and confident on camera, one of the things that I inadvertently teach them is how to re-fall in love with themselves, how to see themselves in a new light. And even though I don't set out to do that, it just automatically happens. And one of the major problems are, things that hold us back about being comfortable on camera is that we're not comfortable with ourselves. And we don't realize this until we put ourselves on camera. That's how the moment we realize, oh my God, I don't really know myself in that intimate way. And by having you address those problems, at the root level, at the psychological level, we fix all of those problems. At no point did I tell you how to hold a camera, how to do this, how to do anything, because at the ending of the day, none of those things matter if you are not comfortable with yourself. And I noticed this when I first started working with models, like really beautiful models, and it didn't matter how gorgeous they were. It didn't matter how, if you tell them that, it didn't matter if anyone told them that how much they saw how great they look on a camera. If they didn't feel comfortable with themselves, I had to spend maybe 3 weeks in post production just to correct that discomfort in their eyes and their expression. And like you said, it's all about efficiency, and I'm all about efficiency as well. I don't want you to spend 4 hours to do a 10-minute video. I want you to spend 10 minutes doing a 10-minute video, because you don't require to prepare yourself to have a friend with a conversation with a friend. And I keep going back to this idea of having a conversation. When you're making a video, it's a conversation between you and a friend, and you never feel like, oh, I have to like amp myself up when I'm talking to a friend. You just walk up to a friend and say hey, and you start the conversation. It shouldn't be any different when you're talking on camera. So now that you finished the training, can you tell us what it's like now just to record a video? Because you wanted to record some video for your coursework, and I imagine that now you don't have to go through all those 10, 20 different takes you would have had to do before the training.
No, that's exactly true. Matter of fact, when I first started going through this process with you, and you had me doing daily videos and sending them to you, I was doing takes. I didn't even tell you that until later. And I was probably doing 5 or 6 takes on average the first week. The second week, I was maybe doing 1 take, and then when I owned that up to you, and you said no, just send it one. I went to no takes at all. It's just the one time, and it was done. And now I can drop a video without hesitation. Now, yeah, if I've got subject matter for my course or something, I have to prepare that. But other than that, it's a no-brainer now. It's something that, like I've taught people before when I do leadership seminars, is when you go talk to your people, you get on stage, before you walk in the room to talk to your people, you just take that deep breath of air or mentally prepare yourself. Well, it's the same thing I'm doing now for video. I know how to prepare myself very rapidly because I can do the exercises and get my mental state correct. So when it comes time to do the video, my mind's not a shambles. I'm very focused on what I'm doing. I'm very in the moment. I'm very present with the video itself. I'm not concerned about how I look, appear, think, or whatever. I'm just talking to that other person and getting my point across, and doing it through video. It's the only difference is the video. It's amazing. Exactly. You throw that camera up in front of you, and it's like everything changes. Like, no, it doesn't, but it does until you get through the process, and then you come out the other side. It's like, oh, okay, I'm back to where I was now. Just talking to you, So,
just so everybody can understand what you were talking about, is that when you go through the training with me, you're required to do a video every day, and then you send that to me. Now, unbeknownst to me, I did not know that Gregory was doing multiple takes, because you're not supposed to do multiple takes. This was do one take and send that to me. So when we met on the 7th day to have our first meeting, I told him now that you were doing one take, because I assumed he was doing one take. I want you to now try to do multiple takes, because I need you to get comfortable doing multiple takes, because sometimes you're required to do multiple takes, not because you're not comfortable with yourself, because sometimes you might get the information wrong and you have to do it again, because it's easy to mix up, because sometimes you have to memorize long lines, and those are easy to mix up. So if you're doing takes again after you've done the training, it's not because you're not comfortable with something, it's just because you want to make sure you're very accurate in what you want to say. So I just wanted people to understand that part of it. There was something else you said there, I can't remember. It's going to come back to me in a little bit. But when I'm going back. So when you were doing some of the techniques, because I know some of the techniques can be very intimidating, how did that shift from before you started video to after you started doing the training? Because when you start doing the techniques, at least the way I prepare them, they're supposed to change the way you look at yourself and the way you appreciate yourself. The key word there is appreciate yourself. Because a lot of times when people, actually all of the times when people don't like themselves on video is that they just don't appreciate themselves. How did you start to appreciate yourself? Did it kick in day one? How did it gradually kick in?
I wouldn't say it came in on day one. I mean, it gradually came in. Then all of a sudden there was a day where I finally just looked up and said, it doesn't matter. All that doesn't matter. It was just excuses and explanations of why you can't do the video right. It was really, it doesn't really change. My thoughts and the way I perceive myself doesn't change the way I actually look and am. So it really doesn't have anything to do with reality. So I think I would say probably around day 5 or 6 is when it really started changing for me. And I started sort of laughing at myself in my way of being caught in, am I doing this right or am I looking right? And I realized none of that really matters. I mean,
Yeah.
the most natural people on film, at least that's what my mind was telling me, was the people that just relax and they just are their authentic self. And I know that's true for people on stage. So why would it not be true on video too? And it stands to reason it was, but for some reason your mind doesn't start there. It starts with all these other thoughts and perceptions that you have to break through. So yeah, I would say day 5 or 6 is when those perceptions started just being shattered. Yeah.
It's really rapid. I mean, we're doing 21 days, but that happened on day 5.
Yeah.
That's really fast. And one of the most important things there is that when you have such rapid transformation, when you get it in the first week or the first 10 days, you just spend the rest of the training, the remainder of the training, just diving deeper into your comfort zone. So when you finish the training, you can go out and do anything you want. So now I imagine, Gregory, if you want to do a video, you can if you want to do a 10-minute video, you're gonna spend 10 minutes to do a video, and you're gonna spend 2 days trying to amp yourself up. Oh, the lighting isn't great, or you just come up with all of these excuses. Now, like the videos that you sent me, you're just chilling out on your in your home around your was it the field? Is it the field?
The farm. Yeah.
Yeah, the farm, and you're just chilling out. And then I did give you an extra exercise where I wanted you to explore more into your comfort zone of just taking out selfies and sending it to your wife. And I didn't ask you about that after that second meeting, but have you still continued doing that? What was her reaction?
Well, she wondered why I was sending her all the pictures of me. She said, "What are you trying to do, man?" And I said, "I'm trying to fire you up. We've been married 22 years. I need to keep you alive." So, we just had a joke out of it, but it was fun because before, when you do a selfie in another frame of mind, you're worried about, okay, do I look good? Do I smile good? Is the background okay? Is the light? I was just taking them and sending them. I mean, it didn't really matter. And so, some are good, some are not so good, but instead of taking 40 pictures and sending her 2, you're just taking 4 pictures and sending her 4.
Right. Yeah.
So you get over yourself, I think is the way to say it. You get beyond this perfectionism or this need for things to be just right, and you just do it. And when I've thought about this since I finished the training, and I've gone back and looked at some people that I consider good on video, some of the gurus in the space of online marketing, for example. I went back and looked at some of their videos and realized they're all just being very authentic and being very real. The polish comes because they're authentic, not because it's actually polished. We amateurs try to build it up to a need to have this video be very polished and professional and all that. It's like, no, the polished and professional is the fact that they're being authentic and relaxed, not because they have some production system or, sure, they have really good cameras and all that kind of stuff, but the camera itself, it makes the grain of the film a little bit better, but it has nothing to do with the quality of the presentation or the communication. So I've kind of gotten over all that, and I just use what I have and go from there. And it's been very, very, very freeing.
Yeah, and that's the idea behind the training, to get you to be as natural and authentic as possible, because people are not coming to your video for the production quality. It helps, but they're there for you.
Yeah.
I always reference big budget Hollywood movies that have terrible scripts and terrible acting. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what equipment they use. It only matters that the you didn't feel anything while looking at our film. And even though we're not acting when we're on camera, when people watch your video, you have to treat that as though you are directly in front of them having a conversation face to face. Because I did mention this before, that video is the closest thing we have to teleportation. Heck, it is teleportation without having to smell the person that you're talking to. Like everything else is there. And so the idea behind the training was to get you, Gregory, to become comfortable in yourself. And so when you're talking on camera, there will never be a difference between who you are when people see you on video and the person who you are in person. So even though you and I have never met in person, I know when I see you, you're going to be the same guy. And
Yeah.
one of the things people say a lot about people they see on video is that I feel like I know you. That's the first reaction. When they watch a lot of video, they feel like they know you. And if they have this feeling of feeling like they know you, when they get in front of you and you're somebody else, all of that goes away and that breaks that rapport there. And that's not good for business, because we all do presentation. And if you're doing video, people are going to see you in person at these live events as well. And you want to maintain that in-person charisma. I think
Mhm.
that's one of the best ways I can put it. The same charisma, conversation charisma you have off camera should be the same conversation charisma you have on camera. Is there any piece of advice you want to give people who are considering sign up for this course?
Well, I
Maybe
personally, yeah,
some things you learned along the way.
yeah. I mean, I think it's very simple. If you really want to get over yourself and really get in front of a camera with confidence, you just got to go through this course. And it's not just one piece of the course. It's not just the daily videos, because anybody can send anybody daily videos. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just the coaching with you, which was very important. The questions every day were very good, but it's also the course material too. It's the whole aspects of it. There's some people that would say, "Oh, I just want the course material. I'll go figure it out on my own." It don't work that way. You need, just like I do with my coaching practice,
Mm-hmm.
there needs to be some interaction and some judgment and some configuration of things along the way that you just can't get through a course. You can't get by yourself, or you can't get with somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about. You've got to get with somebody that really understands the dynamics, because I could have gone a totally different direction than I did, and you would
Mm-hmm.
have had to steer me in a different direction. A
Mm-hmm.
course isn't going to do that, and I'm certainly not going to do that for myself. So I
Right.
think you have to have all three aspects of it. It was the daily practice, it was the coaching, and it was the course. So they're all they're all just as important, I believe. It takes that tripod of those items to do it. Um,
Yeah, and people do ask me, why don't I package this training into a course? And I keep telling them the same thing that you just said, that it's very easy for you to watch a training. I can give away all this material for free, but it won't matter because you won't know how to readjust course if you're going off, and you don't even know where you're going off. When it comes to reading your micro macro facial expression, because those are things I'm looking for. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter what you said. It only matters what I'm seeing, the vibe you're projecting, and you need somebody who's trained to see that and feel that and figure out where you're going right, where you're going wrong, and just to hold you in the right direction. It's like a father training a little kid for the first time to ride. You know, the father is there next to the child, and he's just making sure that the kid is holding balance. And as the kid starts to balance, he just let go and allows the kid to go freely. And I think for you, not to say that I'm your father, but that between you and I, that happened I think around day 11 when I said you're on track, because every day I was giving you little tips on how we can make sure everything is going fine. And on day 11, you hit it dead on the nail. I think that's the day you said, "Oh my God, this is it." What was it? Do you remember that video on day 11 when you said, "Oh my God, I can't." There's a huge difference between day 10 and day 11, and you can't believe that this is where you are on day 11. Everything felt so easy.
it did. It was like the dam broke, and all that clutter went away. I mean, like I said, day 5 and 6 was the days I started really, getting beyond myself. And then day 11 was the day that it all kind of came together. All the pieces came together. The ability to speak without being concerned about saying exactly the right words or exactly the right way. It was just the subject matter just flowed out. The ability to not stare at the camera, but look into the camera, look away, have body action.
Yeah.
It was the idea of not getting caught in my thoughts. It was all those things. It was like everything all clicked at the same time, and once it aligned, it was like, oh my goodness, I felt it, and I know what that feels like, and I can repeat that now. But I had to get to it. I just had to get to it once, and once it happened, man, it was a beautiful thing. And now it's like, how come I couldn't just do that on my own? Why did I? But I know it was the blockage in my brain and in my thoughts that were preventing that. And so, yeah, once it lined up, it was good to go. It was the best feeling in the world to have that just.
I saw the feeling in your eyes. Like I could, you didn't have to tell me that this is it. You didn't have to tell me. I saw it. When I saw it, I was like, this is it. And you need somebody who's trained to see that, because I have a lot of photography friends, photographers and videographers. I work with a lot of animators. This is what I did before. I was deep into film. I was a director. I was a photographer. I know everything from the ground up when it comes to technology and which is best editing software, all best editing techniques I've done, and you don't know this, Gregory. I'm gonna tell you this. I've done an animated video, sales video, my work. I wrote script, did animation, everything. This video grossed over $2.3 million in sales for my client. I did that back 4 years ago. So I know everything when it comes to technical production. But I'll tell you one thing many people don't know. And I talk to them a lot about this. They can't read facial expression. Not that I need to know everything that is going through your brain. I just need to know when you're authentically projecting something or when you are bullshitting yourself, not the audience, yourself, where you're compensating for feeling uncomfortable, and you have to tell yourself these things, and that's distracting you from what you really want to say, and then you can't say what you want to say, and so now you forget what you want to say, and then you go in circles, and then you forget you said something else, and now you're talking back over yourself, and then and it shows in your eyes, it shows in your body language, then your conviction goes, it was up, and then it drops, and then your energy drops with it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. I saw that on day 11, and I knew right away, Gregory, this is a video, because when I looked at a video immediately, what I saw as a coach was that I saw the video and thought, wow, I can't believe I trained you to do this, because immediately you look so natural. Because for me, every time a client makes a transformation, for me, I go, this person looks so natural. I can't believe I trained them. And that's how I know, because that's when you look at any random person and they're very good on camera, you never think that they were bad. You don't think about that. When you really you forget that what happens is your brain switches over and you feel like that person's having a conversation with you. And as a coach, you have to really dive into your intuition to know that feeling. And at the beginning of this course, it was very difficult for you to do maybe a 30-second video, right?
Yes.
And then at the ending of this course, your videos were so long, they were being cut off by the application that we are sharing them with, because you're doing 3-minute videos. I think you had sent me a 2-3-minute video one day. So you did like an entire 6-minute video. So for everybody who's watching, usually when you're sending me videos, I ask you to record, and you have to record yourself answering a very specific question for that day. The questions are designed to get you to relax and flow without thinking about what you want to say. And so I tell people, hey, just record a 30-second to 60-second video for me, not too long, something that you can flow with. And so Gregory became so comfortable, and this happens to everyone, that you just end up recording a 3-minute video, 5-minute video, a 6-minute video, and you never thought that this would be possible, especially in such a short time.
That's for sure. I mean, it actually became fun. It was something I was looking forward to doing, and when that happens, you can just keep speaking like nobody's business. It just keeps flowing out. It's fun. It's become fun. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I wanted video to be for you. I want it to be fun. I don't want you to feel like, it's a task, when you have
Mm-hmm.
to, like something that you're dreading to do. Because there is a point, and people are looking at this right now may have experiences, and I know they definitely have experiences, where you have to do a video and you have to amp yourself up to do that video. And when you do that video, and you finish a video, there's like a huge energy crash, and you feel like you need like an hour to yourself, or maybe an entire day where you just have to just come down from that, because it is an emotional roller coaster to do video when you're not comfortable. It takes
Mm-hmm.
so much from you. And what's even worse is when you have to do takes and takes and takes and you're not getting it right, and you feel like a complete failure. And in reality, it's not that you don't know your content. It's not that you're being an imposter where you're pretending something. It's just that speaking on camera is very difficult, because we as humans, we're not designed to speak on camera. We have to get our brains to switch over to be able to start talking to the camera, so you're talking to a friend in front of you. And I keep coming back. It is absolutely a conversation between you and the next person in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing I wanted to add there about when you were talking about how easy it was for you, after to make a 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute video and just talk without the emotional burden. I had mentioned this in one of our meetings. I think it was with you, but basically what I was getting at is that when you are a musician, because what we are doing with video is an art. It's not necessarily a science, but an art. A composition is an art form. And so when there are two parts to music, and because I study a lot of music, there is the science part of it, which you have to study first. There is music theory, which is the science of how things work. Science is anything that you can study, analyze, and then give somebody else, and then they can come to the same conclusion that you have. So there's a science aspect of music. And even though music is an art, you first have to study the science of it. You have to know how to hold an A chord, a G chord, a C chord. You have to know which chord goes to which chord. So when you finish learning the science, you can actually move on to the creative part of it, because now you know how everything works. You don't have to focus on the nitty gritty of anything. It only comes down to how you want to express yourself. So with video, it is exactly the same thing, where we're figuring out the science of how our emotions work, and then we fix that. And now it doesn't matter what what happens, or if you have the right lighting, or if you do this, or if you have a green screen, if you have a white screen, if you're on a farm, if you're on a boat. The only thing that matters is what you want to say, because people are there to listen to you. They want to have a conversation with you. Even though they can't reply, it still is a conversation. What do you think about that and your experience, Gregory?
No, I agree with that 100%. I don't believe the environment or the technology is key anymore. I mean, you can see a green screen here behind me, so I'll use it on my courses and things,
Yeah.
and I've used it this morning on some Zoom calls with some people, but it's not necessary. And I'm sitting here talking to you right now on an iPhone, and the iPhone is, I mean, it's as good as most production cameras were 5 years ago. So, you
Definitely.
know, we can come up with excuses all the time not to do things, or why we can't do them well enough, or whatever. And so I've learned, through several things in my life, but also this course is, put excuses and explanations aside, and just go make it happen. Just use what you have and do what you can today. And if somebody's watching and they're really into what you're talking about, it doesn't really matter to them who, where you're located or what you're using. It's the information and the knowledge they're trying to gather from you that's what's going to relate with them, along with you relating to them on a human level and a trust level. And if they can trust you and what you're saying, the rest is immaterial. You can have the best camera in the world. You can have the best studio. You can be dressed the best, all that good stuff, and yet not be relatable, and it'll be a waste of time, because nobody will buy what you are selling or listen to your conversation, because
Right.
they're not connected to you at that point. So connection is the key.
And I think one of the big holdups when it comes to people wanting to get on this course with me is that they don't they have a hang up that is this really possible in just 5 minutes a day for 21 days? It sounds like a magic trick, doesn't it? It sounds too good to be true. How can I fix something that you've been dealing with for your entire life in just 5 minutes today for 21 days? Gregory, may I ask you, is that claim bullshit?
No, it really works because, you know, if you now it won't work if you don't do the work. So you have to follow the prescription. You have to do the exercises. You have to do the daily activities,
Which isn't
and
a
then
lot of
it's not a lot of work. It's not a lot
work.
of work at all. It's just a matter of just doing them and not being hung up on the fact that they may seem silly or may seem, you know, a little woo woo at times, or whatever, you know, whatever term you want to use.
Uh-huh.
But if you just do it, it works. But you have to truly want to do it, you know, and just make it happen. And don't skip days, and don't skip parts of the exercise, and do other. You know, you have to do everything. And if you do it all, it works. There's no question. Yeah.
And yeah, and that's one of the beauty about this course is that even we talked about this earlier, but giving away if I had given away the course, people still won't do it. You need that daily interaction with me where I'm guiding you along. And one of the things I do is that I message and say, hey, this is this is the thing that you have to do today. And then later on, I message you back and say, hey, I haven't seen the video today. Where is it? You know, I'm on you. I'm like, hey, where's the stuff? I wanna check it out. And I'm there to give you accountability. And I think that's
Yeah.
one of the things that allows all of my clients to get through the entire 21 day, because it's easy to become complicit when you get results. So people get results on the 7th day. As for you, you got it on 11 days. I've dealt with people who got it as fast as the 3rd day. Some people are just very fast, or way faster than others, and it's easy to become complicit where you just fall off and not do 1 day or 2 day. But I'm always there and say, hey, just keep the energy up. You wanna keep the momentum going, because as soon as you finish with me on the 21 day, you can just jump in and do anything that you want, even though you can still do it during the 21 days. And so you're right. It's you have to do the work, but at the same time, it's not a lot of work. It's only 5 minutes a
No.
day. That's the beauty of it. And the reason we have talked about efficiency at the starting of this call, one of the reasons why I made this course 5 minutes every day is because I don't believe you should be spending huge amount of time, 1 hour, 2 hours a day, just to do something that could be done in 5 minutes. Because everything that we're dealing with in this training has to do with our psychology, the way we perceive the world, and more importantly, how we perceive ourselves. And we're shifting that. We're changing the way that we our belief system, and we're breaking a lot of belief system. We're installing new belief system. And I know this idea of belief system and mindset has become catchphrases in the entrepreneurial world, but we are literally looking at how emotions work and fixing it directly at the root. And so what happened is that our emotions change rapidly. You can get results in a quick, sorry, you can get results or fixes in as quickly as a few seconds when you apply certain technique. Whereas there is this old thing they used to teach in the corporate world, that if you hold your body in a certain position, a power position, and you hold it there for like a minute, and it'll suddenly switch over to your mind and feel more powerful. And the reason why the population is like, some people experience this while some people don't, because it don't really work that well. Because you're using your physiology to change your psychology. But what we're doing is the opposite. We're using our psychology to change our physiology, because once you change your way, um, everything works on the inside, the way you're feeling. And once you're able to hack into that system and be able to project that confidence and a comfort, you don't have to think about, like you said earlier, the way your eyes are moving, where you're walking, you're talking. Everything just naturally comes out. So Gregory, it's been like almost 40 minutes now. Do you have any last minute advice for anyone looking at this call? Do you have anything you want to close off with?
Yeah, the only thing I think that I need to impress is, if you have one thing standing in your way from where you want to go, you need to tackle that. And this is one of the things that had been hindering me from literally moving my business forward, especially the online portion. is the fact that, you know, I was not very satisfied with my results when I did a video. So to get this solved, removed an impediment from me and my business. So if there's something like this standing in your way, why in the world would you not just go solve that? So I would tell you, if that's one of your issues like it was mine, just go make it happen.
To add to what you just said there, I believe on day one, just before we started this training, I asked you that I know you said to me that you're hoping to get results from this because you still had a little bit of doubt whether you could. And I understand that because I'm giving you a big promise that you're going to get results. Like I'm very confident in what I'm saying. You're guaranteed results. And your reaction was
Right.
that we'll see. Do you
Right.
remember that?
Right.
What do you have to say to you, if you could go back in time to yourself that just about a month ago, would you say to yourself, you would just go through a black hole and say, hey, Greg, from a month ago, just do it.
Yeah, I'd just say get over yourself and move on. I mean, that's really what I did. I got over myself on video, but you have to get over yourself on your doubts and things working. And just, you know, and I did. I just jumped in. I tried it, and it absolutely worked. So I'm glad I did. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this video can encourage people who are considering jumping on this course, because I don't want people to come in to this course with false promises. I want you to see and experience other people who've done this before, because I'm making huge promises, and I stand by my promises because I've never had a failed student for several reasons. One, that we're addressing the problem at a psychological level. We're dealing with a root problem. Two, I'm there with you every day. It's not I'm giving you something and tell you to go off and do it by yourself and then come back a week later and let's see what you have. I'm there with you every day. If there's anything that you need to adjust, we'll talk about it. We use the Facebook Messenger. Sometimes I use WhatsApp. And what that allows me to do is see the videos. I'm able to send you audio messages. You're able to send me audio messages. So we can have a little conversation right through the day without needing to have meetings. So even though we do have meetings, what that allows you to do is be more efficient when it comes to getting results, because we don't need to spend an exponential amount of time talking about something when all you needed was like a 1 minute or 2 minute audio clip explaining what you should do the next day in terms of what you should correct and where you're going right. Because sometimes even though you're getting everything correctly, sometimes one of the biggest support you can get is when somebody tell you, oh, hey, you're doing it absolutely correct, just keep doing it. And for you, Gregory, that was on day 11 where everything just clicked for you. And all I needed to help you from that day on was just to make sure that you're keeping in line and you weren't, swaying to the side or falling off. And now I know that it doesn't matter what you're gonna do, you're gonna be great on video. I know if I see a video from you from a week from now, 2 months from now, you're just gonna be your naturally conversational self on camera. So that is all I wanted to cover. Do you have any last words?
No, just make it happen. Just go do something today. Make it happen.
So I hope you guys had fun watching this interview. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me. I will have like a lot of stuff below this video. So until then, bye.
See ya.